Okay, it's time for another quick update on the 41 gasser project here at Shaw's Garage. We're here on a very hot August Tennessee day. In fact, it's too hot to even be working, so I'm going to do a video update and then I'm going to go find some air conditioning. Anyway, we've made a little progress, I think, since our last video update, the biggest of which is we have finished our roll cage and seat mounts and seat belt mounts, and that's a huge weight off my shoulders because it has not been a lot of fun, but I'm fairly pleased with the results. You can see we've got removable door bars, which is going to make it a lot easier to get in and out of this, especially when we get the doors on it. And we've got our seats mounted. Again, these are Ford Econoline van seats, and we built a square tube frame that ties into a crossbar at the roll cage and then ties into some reinforced plates in the center rib of the floor. So they're removable and quite strong, and then we've tied got our seatbelt mounting points tied to the roll cage. And you can see up top we've got all the cage finished. We chose to go with a wraparound seatbelt mount, so we had to build these little retainers to keep the belts from sliding back and forth, and they came out okay. Give me a quick look here. We have, as we've mentioned, this is going to be a streetable gasser, so we do have a heater. That's a heater out of I believe a 1950 Ford pickup, I think, and we've got it rebuilt and installed. Done a little bit of work on our clutch and brake pedals, got those sitting where they need to be. And as you can see, this bundle of joy right here is our wiring harness, and that is one of the next things we've got to do. Everybody thinks because of what I do for a living, working in electronics, that I love doing car wiring, and it's one of my least favorite things to do for some reason. So I'm really procrastinating diving into that bundle, but it's got to be done. And let's see, what else have we done here? We've got our fuel system piped in, got both carburetors tied in, got a T-block there, fuel gauge. Walk around to the other side. And on this side, we've got our fuel regulator and our lines. Now, we chose to go with a return type system instead of just a pump with a regulator. This regulator's actually got a bypass line, which is the center line coming out, and then it runs back and goes into the top of our fuel cell right there. And we've got our fuel pump, our pre-filter, that's the red thing. Picks up through 100 micron pre-filter. We've got our fuel pump, that's a Carter high performance fuel pump. And then it feeds over to canister filter. I think that's a 10 micron. And that actually goes up and feeds the regulator and then the carburetors. And as you can see, the brown thing under the truck is one of our shop dogs. It is a hot day, and he's decided it's cooler under the gasser, so he's laying under there snoring right now. I don't know if you can hear him snoring in the video. So anyway, I think that's about it. I believe we had all this tailgate on and the bed sitting on here the last video we did. There's one thing I want to make note of. Quayne Stott of the Southeast Gasser Association has already looked at this vehicle and found quite a few things that is going to have to be changed. One of which is this section of the fender that hangs down below the bed. We're actually going to have to cut that off even. I'll try to point right here. It's going to have to be cut off even with the bed. And I think I'm going to put a little, almost like a little step there to tie it in. I've looked at a lot of pictures of old gasser pickups, and they have, a lot of them have little pieces there that tie the bed to the front of the fender, which will replace some of the strength we lose when we cut that piece off. But the reason we're going to have to cut that off is the Southeast Gasser rules say that we have to be, I think it's 11 inches off the ground at this point here below, in front of the rear wheel. So that piece is hanging down. It doesn't do anything, it's just there. And so it's going to have to be trimmed off. And actually, the more I look at it, I think it's actually going to look better to do that. So we've got to make that change. Nothing like having to cut something after you've already painted it, but we'll figure it out. So anyway, that's about it for today. Just a quick update from Shaw's Garage. Thanks for watching.